Hey, what's up guys and welcome to Anime King. And also, today I'm going to be giving you part 25 of What If Naruto Was a Godly Mage. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this all with your friends in your social media platform. And also go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Fuse with Zetsu and enjoy that guys over at Anime King 2. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support, and remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new, I'll be replying and talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, we'll just begin this new episode. Start the intro. So, the last time we left off, the god of death, with three other supreme beings, were talking. Yes, the subject matter, the topic was Naruto, the things that he has been doing in the universe. As he's been changing the power scale, the power balance. Things have been turning upside down since the past 3 years when he was gone. He left Earth as he went to scour the universe, doing things that are disrupting the natural power balance. Things that shouldn't be capable of doing, and they knew that he has not yet risen to his full power, and for that they need to get rid of him, to return balance back to the universe, before he caused more damage than he needs to. They knew about his personality change, but they still knew that he had bonds, loved ones on Earth, people that could switch his mind back. The three of them even admitted, as the god of death told them, that if he were to accept his full power, they wouldn't be able to beat him. So they had to do it quickly, and they had to make sure they got rid of him, so the universe would be safe. We then skip back to Earth as a lot of things had changed over the past 3 years. There were only 3 great nations, the Sand, Kiri who was rebuilding and repopulating rather quickly, and Konoha. The other 2, Kumo and the Stone. After all, their village was destroyed. Thousands of people died at Stone when Berserk dropped his hands and murdered thousands of them, and Kumo was turned upside down, and many perished. There were still fractions in the era around the smaller nations where the ninja had gathered, and that caused many conflicts because they thought that it was Konoha, as the both of them, their 2 supply party had come together to try and make Konoha happy as possible. Suicide bombers, who had lost the hope to live because they lost their family members, had tried to bring damage upon Konoha, but the place was in lockdown in the moment after Tsunade found out what Naruto did, and knowing that there would be some backlash. As Pain, the group had absorbed the Bijus from the globe that Naruto gave them, but it took a while, as Pain hadn't went after the remaining Bijus out there yet. There were just a few, and he will gather them soon enough. As for Tsunade and the others, they were going through a difficult time. Yes, his sudden departure, after he was the one who brought most of them together, especially. He was the reason why Tsunade came back to Konoha, and now him just disappearing like that, leaving. Yes, it hurt many of them. As Anko had went back to Anvu, Hinata had become rather cold, to the point where her father and her sisters worried about her. And Rukia, if it wasn't for Konoha and the squad that she was on, or having Hinata to talk to some of the time, she didn't know what she would do with her life. Meanwhile, Dizak was stuck at his Earth. He had gained the full power of the demons, all that he wanted, but he could not leave or breach the elemental nation. This mark that Naruto put on him, no matter what he did, it was unable to remove. No matter how much of his power he forced out, he could not leave. As he cursed, the moment he seen Naruto once again, he was going to kill him without hesitation. We then skip to Naruto, as Akane The Kyuubi has chosen a name. After all, Kyuubi was just a title. As she called herself Akane, she and Yamato were given bodies. The three of them has been going around, eradicating planets. That has been getting on their nerve, and also absorbing the planet core the power, and it flooded into their body, making them just more stronger. As Naruto eradicated the Otsutsuki clan, and he had necklace with their eyes inside of it, crystal necklace with extremely very dense power inside of it, which he could use when he liked. But it was time that he returned back to the elemental nations, as he wanted to see how his former home is doing. As they came back on Earth, no one was wiser, as he sent Yamato and Akane out to find where Orochimaru and some more information for him. As Naruto went straight towards Konoha, Tsunade was in her office as she was doing some last mini paperwork when she heard a voice that made her heart literally stop. As she turned towards the person, Naruto? So yeah guys, so it's basically let's left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So let's begin this new episode. Even though it has been 3 years, it still hurt. Yes, it still hurt a lot. So usually at night, Hinata cried. She couldn't stop herself even though she tried to act heartless. And like most things didn't get to her. And like she didn't care about most things. Most nights she cried. She came in her bedroom as she cried, placing up silence and seal so no one could hear her. She released it all her frustration, all her tears, as no one could hear what was going on inside her room. As she also had a seal up, so none of the Hyuga members could see through her walls. As she just stood there and cried. The frustration, the reminder of him, it pained her a lot. As she was crying, something snapped her from it though, as a massive explosion happened in the village. She quickly got out of bed. As she removed the seal as she made her way outside, rubbing away her tears. She had just came back, so she was still in her combat uniform. As she rushed past Hanabi, who was going outside. As she looked to see if this was some sort of invasion or something. As she saw smoke coming from near the Hokage's monument. She turned. Rukia? What are you doing here? Oh, I was coming to visit you, Rukia said. And then, as Rukia turned towards smoke as well. We can talk later, let's go, Hinata said. As the both of them made their way. As Hanabi stood there, she wondered what happened. A few seconds earlier, something was sent sailing through the sky with such immense speed. After all, it was punch, with a full force punch. As the thing crashed near the Hokage monument. It only took at least 10 seconds and something came crashing down right on top of the source, as another massive shockwave went off. As Tsunade crashed down where Naruto had landed. After all, she was the one that sent him sailing right through her office. She wasted no time and drew back her fist as she drove it down towards him. The earth shook violently as she punched him straight into the deep end of the rock. She kept on dropping fist after fist, breaking his body in. As all of the frustration and anger, the rage that he left them all with, it was just released out of her in one quick motion. As she destroyed a large part of the Hokage's monument by punching him right into it. It took a few seconds as her envoy guards were with her, as more shinobis quickly made their way, jumping from rooftop to rooftops, thinking that they were under attack. After all, attacks has been a lot lately from the ninjas from Kumo and the Stone, and it was hard to wipe them all out because they have been moving, seeing that they no longer have a home, a large settlement where all of them could stay. It has been counterattacks after counterattacks and movements. Tsunade did not relent as she kept on beating down the spot where his face was, but she felt like she was hitting steel as she smashed her fist over and over. It took a while, but she got tired out. She didn't even look at her knuckles as they were bleeding badly. Tears were also leaking from her eyes as she destroyed the entire side platform. As she then fell back right on her butt. Just looking at the spot, his entire body had a dent inside the wall. You could no longer see him. As a few ninjas started to arrive, Hinata landed along with Rukia. As Kakashi and Anko in her uniform landed as well, and a few others made their way. Lady Hokage, said Rukia. She made her way forward. What happened? As she noticed the look on Snaddy's face, tears were pooling from Snaddy's eyes. But you could see the rage and frustration. The pent-up rage that was released. He's back. That was all Snaddy said, as all of them looked towards a hole that started to shake a bit, before her hand shot out of it. The hand looked grey and metallic, before his skin started to return back to normal. Snaddy looked at her knuckles that were bleeding, as she had wondered why she felt like she was hitting steel. Hinata heart, Anko, Rukia, their hearts suddenly stopped when they saw the person pulling himself out. Despite the earth-shattering punches, he was fine, as his skin and face returned back to normal from the steel color that it was once. As he had a smile on his face, as he looked at all of them, he was surrounded. An army of Anvu, Jonins, Chunins, as all of them were there. They thought it was an attack, so they got on their guard. No need to get so pent up, Naruto said, as he pulled himself out of a stone platform. As all of them just looked at him, none of them saying anything. This was just a misunderstanding. You can all go back to doing what you were doing. As he looked towards Snaddy. For a moment there, it seems like you wanted to kill me, said Naruto. As Snaddy clenched her fist. You're not even saying that you didn't. You guys must really hate me, huh? As he looked around. Hinata, eyes were cold. Yes, they were cold. Seemed to have no feelings or emotion. As he looked towards Anko, as he could tell it was her, behind her mask, he could feel the hate and the anger resonating from her. As for Rukia, her eyes were blazing with fire, pure rage. Sakura, Shizune, Kakashi, as he looked at all of them. What, he said, "Cat got your tongues. Why aren't you guys talking?" "Why are you here?" said Snaddy. As much as she had missed him, that missing him turned to rage, after the things that he did before he left. Despite the stone and Kumo never being on friendly terms with Konoha, Naruto killed children, yes, countless of children. As Snaddy had witnessed this, there was a meeting that was held with the remaining people of Kumo, well, not all of them, and the stone. Thousands of children had died. Kids that didn't deserve this, that were just having a peaceful day. Naruto had given over the Bijutsu to the Akatsuki. He has done so many terrible things, and now he just showed his face back here, smiling to them. "What? Can't I visit back my previous home?" he said. As he stepped forward, all of them thanks. "You guys have nothing to worry about. Even though your Hokage just assaulted me, it's not like I'm gonna kill you guys or anything. Come on. Didn't I do you guys a favor by taking out Kumo and the stone? After all, they were your guys' enemies. Enemies in the past, yes. Even though they have done some trifling acts and tried to attack us recently. You went too far. I could understand you going after them, the ninjas that attacked you and Hinata while you were out there. But you went to the village. You killed children. You slaughtered thousands of them. Why?" That was all that Snaddy could ask, faced with his difficult choice in front of her, seeing him. "Well, to tell you the truth, I just didn't really care," he said. As all of them blinked by the way he said those words, cold, without even a single tone. He really did not care. "I just came here to see all of you, but I can see that I'm not wanted here anymore." That's bad. "I thought we could reunite." "Uncle," he said, "you're looking at me like you hate my living guts, even though you basically grew me. After all, you were like my older sister. And you, my real sister. This amount of hate that you're sending on to me, I can feel it. Seems you all are pissed. And you, said Naruto, as he looked towards Hinata. I did told you that you need to get stronger before I left. Seems you have. But now, it seems that you only hate me, judging by the look in your eyes. Seems I no longer wanted here. After all, I did come to have a little chat, but it seems I was misunderstood. Well, not a problem, he says. He stepped forward. Just gonna take care of some few last minute business, and then you won't see me again, he said. And with that, he simply flashed away, like he was never there. As Uncle and all of them looked at the spot, Despite the rage, they wanted to say something but their bodies. Their body would just not allow it. Snatty was the only one that mustered the courage to speak at that moment. What was wrong with them all this time? And they weren't able to say anything. They weren't able to say a single word. Time skip. Uncle was sitting down in the forest of death, as it was dead in the night at the moment. She couldn't believe it. He was back. After 3 years of nothing, he was back like that, and she couldn't find a single word to say to him. She couldn't say anything. She just stood there like some idiot. Why? All of them were frozen. At least Nat had released some of her anger in her fists, but they once again lost him. Despite having that rage of what he did for so long, seeing him, just seeing his face and his smile, it made her happy. After all, she saw him as a brother in a way. Her little brother that she took care of. And now he was gone. Gone once again, never to return. Sorry, the commotion was getting a bit too much. I had to flee the scene, made them think that I'm leaving, you know? As Uncle would jump hearing that voice, the reason being she did not feel anything. She did not feel a shifter of air or anything appearing. So, as she turned, Naruto was sitting on a tree branch right beside her, as he was giving her that friendly smile. Yet again, her body seemed to freeze. As she looked at him, her hand started to tighten. As she raised it, smack! She smacked him across the face. As Naruto placed a hand on his cheek, you know, not the welcome smack. Hey, stop smack! Hey, let me smack! She kept on slapping him across the face over and over again. As she reared her hand back and smacked him right off a tree. She got up in a haze as she lost her footing. But suddenly, she was grabbed. As she looked towards who grabbed her, as she turned her head. As Naruto gave her a smile, as she smacked him in the face. As he released her, as she fell to her feet. You know, I just saved you from smack. As Naruto stepped back. Okay, what smack? I'm gonna allow you to get that one, said Naruto. But, as he caught her arm, as he caught her next arm, she kicked him right in the nuts. As Naruto stepped back, you know, that was a very cheap. She punched him right in the face, knocking him back towards a tree. Snakes came from her sleeve and wrapped around him as they restrained him. As they opened their mouth wide, as their fangs were dripping with venom. This was not to kill him, but to sedate him, to hold him, as they sank their fangs into him. As Naruto collapsed down to the ground, as he fell down, the snake still wrapped around him tight. He tried to speak, but Uncle kicked him right in the face. As he tried to move, but the snakes tightened even more, as they kept on pumping their venom inside of him. He tried to say something once again, but she kicked him without mercy. As she kicked him and kicked him and kicked him. As she then moved forward and grabbed him by the hair. As she pulled out a kunai and reared her hand back as she drove it forward, but she stopped an inch away from his throat. Just an inch. As she looked at him dead in the eyes, her hand shaking badly with frustration as her teeth had bit down into her lip. Blood was coming from her mouth as she was holding herself back. You know, for a moment there I thought you would actually kill me, said Naruto. As Uncle released him as he dropped back to the ground, the snake still wrapped around him. She thrust the kunai as it planted right beside his head, embedded into the tree. As she collapsed on her knees. Why? Why, she said, her voice broken. As you could hear, the way she spoke, she was crying. She looked up at him, tears streamed down her face. Why did you leave me like that? She shouted towards him. I spoke to Rukia. We all spoke to her. We knew that you still had your emotions. This is not like the last time, when you did not remember any of us because your emotions were not there. You knew who we were. You still had your feelings. I took you in when you were just a little baby. The both of us grew up together, but we never had that mother-son relationship. It was more like a brother and sister, because we both took care of each other, always pulling pranks, always playing each other. But you left like that. Everything was going well. Hinata was happy. I was happy your sister was here. Everything was wonderful. You were promoted, you were getting stronger by the day. And then, you just You wiped out so many people. I knew that you were angry. I knew what they did to you was wrong. Even I, a self-claimed sadistic person, wouldn't go that far to kill so many kids. You even destroyed the smaller nations. I knew that the larger nation wronged you. But that thing that you brought to this world, one step of his has destroyed small villages, killed thousands without even looking back. People that weren't even nowhere near your radar. People that didn't even know who you were. But you did not care. And then that day, you left. I tried to speak to you. I tried to beg you to stay, but you ignored me and left. Why? Why, goddammit, she shouted. Rukia was right, said Naruto. I had my emotions. I knew who I was. But unlike last time, this power showed me reality. Because I was almost about to die because I wouldn't accept something. Do you know what it is? How the hell should I know, she asks. That I'm different from you all. I'm different. And I should finally accept that. I am strong, very very strong. Like on a whole nother level than most people in this universe. But yet still I hold back myself. Even my own powers were against me because they saw how pathetic I was acting. So gaining this new ability, gaining this boost, it gave me the realization to play who I really am. So that is what I did. I absorbed my role. I decided to act like what I was supposed to be. As Naruto got to his feet, with a simple shrug, the snakes around him melted away into nothing. As Uncle looked at him clearly, there was not even a scratch on him. The puncture marks on his neck just vanished, like they weren't even there. Not even a bruise. But after 3 years, oh there, well, to you guys it was 3 years. See that we went to some planets where the time fluctuation is different, and it's been quite some time. I realized something. This was where I was, grown. After all, you were the one that grew me. You teach me wrong from right, even though you did in your own sadistic ways. And then I realized something. Even with Akane and Yamato with me, sometimes it was just a bit boring. Because I'm striving for something new. And once I do that, I'm not going to be coming back here. So you're leaving again. No, I don't mean here. I mean this entire universe. What do you mean by that, she asks. I have found a way to break through this fabric into something else. Something different. The other gods are trying to stop me, especially the god of death. I am unable to reach him at the moment, but I know his involvement is in it. Their power is trying to hold me back, but I'm gonna leave very soon. Oh, said Uncle, as she got to her feet. So you came here to say goodbye. Is that it? Well then, screw you, I don't want to hear it, as she tried to walk away. But she was grabbed as he held onto her hand. Let me go, she said. She turned on a fist, as her fist smashed against his face. But he did not even budge. You know, I thought about some groups while I was out there in my travels, and many of them, they always have the pack leader. Originally, that will be me. And they are strong subordinates, some of them being lover, and some of them being, family. But all of them are close, especially this one group that came after me, because I ended up slaughtering their entire planet. As Uncle eyes wide hearing that, I had to kill them, but their teamwork was good. And not to mention, their passion when I killed one of them, it was just so blinding. I realized something. I had that as well. Even though it might be angry right now, you guys were my first friends and family. So yeah, I'll be taking you all with me. Let's just say I'm gonna be creating a little group. After all, we're gonna have a lot of fun adventures all around the multiverse, places that you guys have never seen before. And why the hell would I go with you, she asks. Why the hell would any of us ever leave? Unlike you, we're loyal. Well, I'm taking Batch with me as well, so it's not like anything's gonna be left here, said Naruto. You really think that any of us actually go with you? You stupid naive fool. The one person that had loved you through thick and thin, Hinata, you broke her. You broke the poor girl. The one that was always kind and nice. Your best friend. Do you even know what that terms mean anymore? Well, yes, and shut up, she said. You asked me, and shut the hell up, she said to him. As Naruto sighed, you know, I knew that this was going to be hard, but I want you to get your attacks in. Because, yeah, you're pissed off. But I have to deal with some last minute business. As Naruto stopped and looked at her, tell me something. If you really hate me that much, you had the option to kill me a minute ago. You could have, but you did not. And also, I have no doubt that you spent these last 3 years thinking about the past time, when we used to be family. Like you say, brothers and sisters. So if you really hate me that much, I guess I'm wrong or something, or your life needs a serious evaluation. You know what, I missed you as well, Uncle, said Naruto. I missed your attitude. I missed you being there with me. So yeah, once I'm finished here, I'll be coming back, okay? As Uncle clenched her fists. You're mistaken if you ever think I'm gonna go anywhere with you. What's the problem, said Naruto. You have endless power. Power at your grasp to do anything you please. Things that you wouldn't even imagine that you could do on this earth. You'd really give that up. Because of this 3-year gap that I've been gone, I just need some time to explore the universe and to go through some things. Don't be that mad, okay? As she glared at him, you really expect to just come back here and think everything was going to be okay. I'll give you some time to think over it, okay? Remember, it's gonna be fun. And with that, he just blinked away. Uncle stood there. She really wondered if she was seeing things or hearing things right. After 3 years of nothing, he just came back here, thinking that everything was going to be alright, expecting everything to be okay, and wanted to take her somewhere. Meanwhile, Hinata was sitting down in her bed, as she just locked herself in her room ever since she came back from seeing him. After so long, nothing, and now she saw him. Yes, emotions were high, but she would not cry. She promised herself a long time ago if he returns, she would not cry for him. Because he did not care for her anymore. He left, without caring one bit about her. So she would not cry for him no matter what. But tears were at the corner of her eyes. Despite how much she tried to suppress it, they were still there. As she stood her ground though, she tried her best not to cry. She tried her best to stay true to her word. But all of that came crumbling down when a dark mass suddenly materialized in her room, and he came out of it. I see that your decor has improved. As Naruto looked around, Hinata sat there. As she looked towards him, she did not know what to say. She had so much that she wanted to curse or hit him with, but as he looked at her with those kind eyes and that smile, her entire body just froze. As Naruto noticed there was a tag on the door. Have you depths in the art of sealing, he asked. As he felt something behind him. No, not this again, he said. The moment he turned a palm striking his face, that sent him crashing into the wall. It was lucky that his room was sealed off. As she made her way towards him, she wasted no time as she struck him at each point, trying to seal his chakra system, trying to seal him and paralyze him so he could not go anywhere. As Naruto let his hands fall to his side. So what now, he asked. Hinata looked at him as she stooped down. Her hands started to glow with chakra as she smacked him across the face. It took 20 more slaps as Naruto just sit there, just letting her work out her frustrations. After all, they were not really hurting him. As he figured, coming back, they will all be kinda pissed, so he need to make them work out their frustration. Hinata was huffing and puffing, as she was furiously shaking, as Naruto had then reached up and grabbed her shoulders. He was not paralyzed, she realized. As he looked towards her, she didn't notice that not even a scratch was on him. As he smiled at her. Are you done yet, he asked. What are you doing here, she asked. That were the first words that came out of her mouth since he came in here. I just came to visit you, he said. I know I might have left things on bad terms last time. Bad terms? Bad terms, she shouted at him. You heartless, inconsiderate monster. You left me alone. You promised me when you were younger Through thick and thin, you would never leave me alone. You'll always be there for me and I'll always be there for you. We would always be together. You had your emotions and you left. It took me a long while to try and figure out what I felt for you. But after you left, I came to realize something. You took it all away with you. So whatever you came to say, save it. Because I don't care anymore. As you can see, you're no longer wanted here. You might have plagued our life for the past 3 years of us thinking of you. But you broke everything. Your promises, our hope in you. You broke everything. So go back where you came from. Because none of us care anymore about you. I get it, Naruto, you're hurt. So you're trying to hurt me back. No, I'm not. I just don't really care anymore. As she got up and walked away, as she sat on her bed, she turned her head, not paying him any attention. As Naruto did not move, he just stood there. After a few seconds of silence, he spoke. You know, I never knew that you were that in love with me, he said. Through everything, I thought you were just, well, best friends. But that day when Temari told me, did you remember that last speech that we had? Temari kind of told me that you were in love with me. I was rather surprised. But still, I kind of get it. After all, we were very close. When you think about it, we were actually kind of going out, but not in official terms. We did everything together. Well, I did kiss you before I left. So you can say that it's been a long wait. He chuckled to himself, without any humor in his tone. And you're right, I did have my emotions. But the thing is, I just came to accept myself. Something that you want me to do for a long time now. After all, it's been a long time since I told you about the Kyuubi silly side of me. And you told me that I have to accept myself before letting anyone else accept me. Because if I don't accept myself, no one else would. I have had a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And soon enough I'm going to be leaving. Her eyes narrowed just the slightest, but she did not say anything. Not the elemental nations, I mean leaving this place entirely. This entire universe. And you won't be seeing my face ever again. Unless you come with me, he said. She did not move anyway. As he stepped forward. You're gonna pretend like you're ignoring me, but I know that you hear me, because I'm right here. I already spoke to Uncle. I'm gonna speak to Rukia next. I want you guys to come with me. And also Bachan as well. You girls are the closest in my life. And yeah, it would be quite fun to have you guys there. It will be an adventure, a journey. Traveling through the entire multiverse. Checking out new worlds, new dimensions. So why don't you go ahead and I'm not going anywhere with you, she said. As Naruto looked at her, he raised his hand as she could not move. What are you doing, she said, as he stepped forward. He then kissed her. She struggled to move and to fight back, as he released the grip on her. She raised her hand to smack him across the face once again. But her hand faltered, as her hand still came down and slapped him though, pushing him away. Do not do that, she said. You are nothing to me anymore. Don't you dare touch me ever like that again. I still feel it, Naruto. You're acting like you don't, but you still care about me. I know that you hate me right now, but a couple of centuries, and I think that eventually, all that hate will disappear. After all, you're one of my main girls, you know that, right? And with that, he started to walk away. I'll be back soon, as he just disappeared. He didn't sit back down as she reached her hand up and touched her lip. Why did she hesitate? She hesitated the slightest. She thought that she made up her mind, but she hesitated to slap him away. Why did she do that? Meanwhile, at Rukia's house, as Rukia was sitting down in her bed, after 3 long years, she finally get to see him again, but she stuttered. She did not even say a word. Huh. How shameful, she thought to herself. You know, getting your own apartment and getting your life in Konoha, I'm guessing that you're rather adopting this new world. She didn't even turn because she heard the voice. As she knew that it was him, she knew that he wouldn't just leave like that. As she did not know what he was up to, but she did not say anything. Hey, Rukia, said Naruto. At least you can do is come over here and give your big brother a hug. As she did not speak to him. Huh. You know you're different from the others. Thought you'd attack me as well. But it seems you are not up for that. Well, that's better, he said. As he went and sat down beside her. She was acting like he wasn't even there. I know I kind of messed up before I left. All giving the Zack all the power in that thing. Rukia's eyes went wide when she heard that. She had no idea that he did that. I sealed him off from coming to this earth though. But God knows what he's doing with the silver capital over there. Rukia chuckled. Huh, what's funny, he asked. Mother would be so disappointed in you. Father as well. Huh, really? Said Naruto. As she got up and started to walk towards the kitchen. She got a glass of water she started to drink. I don't know what you're doing here, but haven't you done enough? You've hurt so many people. Is this some kind of gluten thing? No. I'm here to tell you that I'm leaving. Why would you? You left last time. You didn't come back for 3 years. We don't need any more explanation. You can't just go, you know that, right? As she walked back to her bedroom. This time I won't be leaving the world alone. I won't be ever coming back. Well, neither will you, said Naruto, because you're coming with me. Huh, and why would I do that? Well, you never liked it here, did you? After all, you never came from this place. Wouldn't it be better to be traveling around the universe with me and your friends? Being a top tier being in the universe. Quite powerful, unstoppable. That's the best thing, said Naruto. But I have to finish up a few work here. But I promise, I'll be back. And I'll be waiting for my answer, she said, cut him off. You really think, after all you did, that I would go anywhere with you? You really think I even see you as a brother anymore? After what you did to me, just leaving me here. You can talk and talk as much as you want. But the fact is, I just don't really care. Oh, you don't? So the brother you spend your entire life looking for. Now that he's back, you don't really care about him. No. My brother that I spent my life looking for died 3 years ago. You, whatever you are, you're nothing to me. Huh. Is that so, said Naruto? You know, you're kind of hurting my feelings. And why would I care, she asks. You broke my heart a long time ago. Why should I care about you anymore? You know, you knew more about my power than anyone else. So you know what I must be feeling right now. After all, once I accept my power, I came to realize I'm basically a god. And why would a god be limited by this world alone? So yeah, I decided to have some fun. I knew it was going to hurt some of you guys, but 3 years, not such a big deal. But you guys are pissed and more than I thought. But no bother, said Naruto. Because I'm going to be gone for a while. Well, dealing with some loose end. Killing the Zack and all that. After I need to free your world. Putting someone more stable in charge. Can't be you because you're going to be coming with me. After all, there must be some other advisor or something else. I'm going to cleanse the entire place of the darkness. So you don't have to worry about that. She chuckled to herself. You might end up dying. Stupid, idiotic fool. You just gave this Zack so much power. And yet you think of it so casually. It doesn't matter what you say right now. There's a possibility that he will just die. And just gone forever. So you're talking to me right now doesn't even make any much sense. So you can leave, she said. Whoa, harsh. But despite what you say, you're still my sister. And I'll be back for you, okay? As he smiled at her. And with that he just vanished. She stood there. After 3 years, that was what he had to say. He was going to take her with him. She shook her head. Who the hell does he think he is? Abandoning all of him like this. And then returning like this. At the tower, the envoys were in there and Snaddy was in there as well. Ma'am, we found no trace of him, one of the envoys said, kneeling. Alright, said Snaddy. Before she could finish, that hand placed on her shoulder, she was gone. The envoys looked up as they didn't even see what happened. Snaddy blinked as she was in a rocky territory. As she wondered, hey there, Bachan. As she turned to see Naruto standing there. Phew, she said. This time I won't be putting up that guard, he said. After all, you didn't finish your pent up anger. You didn't fully release it on me. So go ahead. Take your best. He couldn't get to finish a sentence as his body was thrown backwards by a punch to the face. 20 minutes later, Snapping knuckles were covered in blood. As she was sweating and panting, the entire area around him was destroyed. Naruto was lying on his back a few feet away from her. Every damage that she dealt with him, everything was receded. As he looked perfectly fine, his body healed in a wimp. Snady looked at him. She released all of her frustration and anger though. She literally tried to break him in half. All of her pent-up rage. She was always one known for her temper. She tried her best not just kill him by snapping his neck, but she doubted that would work. You know, Naruto, second time I think that you're actually trying to kill me. I was, she said. Well, she was lying, but she wouldn't tell him that. Did you just come here for me to release my anger on you? Because I'm not done yet. As she raised her fist, even though she was exhausted. Come on, you're done, Naruto. You know, I'm here to bring you somewhere else. Bring me somewhere else? You know that I hate you, right? With every fiber of my being. After giving me back hope, you just left. All of us. Yeah, sorry about that, Naruto. I don't know really what else to say than sorry. So yeah, here goes, I'm sorry. As he got to his feet. But I'm going to be taking you, Shizune, with me as well. And where the hell do you think we're going? Oh, beyond this universe, he said. You guys are going to be part of my squad, along with Yamato and Akane. Tsunade wondered who that was, but she didn't press on it, Akane. I'm going to be tying up some loose ends first, and then I'm going to be leaving. And I'm going to be taking you guys with me, okay? You really think after all you did, we would actually go somewhere with you? You always hated the job, and hated Konoha, and in me not being there, it must have been miserable. I'm here to take you away from all that pain. As Naruto stepped towards her, she raised her fist but he caught it. Calm down. You had your fun. I missed you too, he said. It's not like you actually hate me, right? I mean, you guys don't actually hate me. After all, we were extremely close, like family. Despite the harsh, very harsh words most of you guys said, it still doesn't matter to me. Because I still see you all as family. But before I leave, I'm going to wrong my rights. By exterminating all the evil in this world. Yes, on Earth. By taking out the Akatsuki and eradicating all the souls that wish to cause harm. What do you mean by that? Oh, I'm going to make Konoha safe, so you don't have to worry while you're traveling with me. And who said I agree to anything she asks? Naruto poked her right in the forehead. Come on, Bachan, he said. Family is everything, right? Suddenly she vanished. She found herself back in her chair, as the undos were scrolling around. What the hell? As she looked towards him. That brat, she said. She clenched her fists. Moments later, thanks for that, said Naruto, as he got the location where Orochimaru was, along with Sasuke. As they found the base without Orochimaru or his subordinate, find note. Did you guys find the Akatsuki near the axe? Yes, said Akane. What should we do, kill them? They're all over though. They're in different groups, two-man squad. Yeah, kill them. But don't go for the real leader. I'll take him on myself. Always wanted to fight a so-called god. And also, bring me Itachi's head, okay? Will do, said Yamato. See you guys soon, said Naruto. Don't take too long, I'm kinda feeling a bit lonely, said Akane. Don't worry, I'll be there soon, said Naruto. Hey, what did they say about the plan? Did they hate you? Well, yeah. It was spot on for your reaction. Huh, told you. So, still gonna do it? Of course, Naruto. They might seem to hate me, but they don't fully hate me on the inside. There is still hope and love in there. Since when did you become so emotional? Oh, I didn't, Naruto. You know it's just for my squad. But unlike the others, you actually care about these other humans, just like you do us. They're different. Well, kind of, said Naruto. Well, enough about that. Just go and bring me Itachi's head, okay? And remember, leave the leader to me. Fine. What if he intervenes? You know I'm gonna kill him, right? He won't. He's a cripple in a chair. What can he do to you? Well, he can kill his bodies, those fake puppets. But I can make him walk again, so yeah, we're gonna have a little fun. I always want to see what the leader of the Akatsuki was capable of. You know that he went up against the Genon World Army, right? And the Genon were at least 10 times stronger than any human on its planet. Yeah, stronger. But skill-wise, not much, said Naruto. Talk to you soon. And with that, they cut the connection. As Naruto made his way strolling towards the sound base, as he could feel eyes already on him. Without second notice, a kunai came rushing towards his face. These people were intent on killing anyone without even thinking or giving them a second chance. As the kunai stabbed right against his chest before falling to the ground, it didn't even faze him. A barrage of kunais and shurikens were launched towards him. He snapped his finger as a powerful gust blew them away. As he made his way towards the entrance, he raised his hand as a spear of white light was created in his palm before he threw it. The thing then detonated, ripping through, creating a massive hole in the makeshift entrance. As he glided down there, the moment he entered, the entire place became enveloped with paper tags. It was a trap, as the thing exploded in a large explosion. Outside, Naruto was watching that display. Whoa, fireworks, he said. As he then teleported back towards the area. As he reappeared inside, he then flicked his finger as a gust of wind break down the door. As he made his way inside, Naruto's eyes then became white, completely white, as he could see through the entire place. He saw Orochimaru and Sasuke, as he saw a few other members. They were fleeing. He then saw Orochimaru rush into a room and releasing some creatures, some strange humanoid creatures that started to make their way towards him. His eyes turned back normal. As he made his way down the hall, the massive group came upon him. They all launched forward, not saying anything. He raised his hand and turned his head as molten hot lava shoot from his palm and incinerated them. As he twisted his hand around, the ceiling started to get ripped open as he fly right through it. He then flew forwards as he came crashing down. Orochimaru Sasuke was blown back by the impact that he made. As Naruto then turned, "Ah, Sasuke," he said. "Long time no see." Sasuke was shocked. Orochimaru thought that it was the Akatsuki who had found them. But as he looked at the person in front of him, nightmares, flashback, he started to get them all. Remembering that day when he was literally turned into a paste by this boy who knocked him around near the end of his very existence. Orochimaru stepped back in utter fear. "Naruto?" said Sasuke. He heard about Naruto's departure, and after what he did, it made Sasuke just more jealous about the power that Naruto possessed. But he knew that he would never acquire that power. It didn't matter what he did, he wouldn't acquire it. But Naruto left. But now he's back. What are you doing here? After 3 years, that's all you can say, said Naruto. I must ask you the same question. What are you doing here with this snake? Oh, I knew, Naruto said, as Orochimaru tried to flee. Orochimaru was pulled straight towards him as Naruto grabbed him by the throat. You seem to be dying. You know, Sasuke, I think this is about the time that he took your body. It's a shame that that's not gonna happen, said Naruto as he released Orochimaru. Orochimaru tried to run, but a hand wrapped around his neck. Snap! His body collapsed down. Huh. Still not dead, said Naruto, as Orochimaru barely crawled out of his mouth. As he was in agony and pain, Naruto grabbed him by the ear. You know, last time I failed to kill you. This time, it won't be the same. As Naruto vanished in front of their eyes with Orochimaru, Sasuke stood there confused. A distance away, on a different planet, Naruto suddenly appeared in a strange chamber, pulling Orochimaru. Where are we? Orochimaru said. What are you doing? He hissed. Be quiet, Naruto says. He slapped him across the face. Feel much better to do that, he said. As he pulled Orochimaru that was unable to move, seeing that Naruto bind his hands. Yo, Lucifer, said Naruto, as he made his way. You wanna know why they call this guy Lucifer? You see, it's because he's like the devil himself. Orochimaru's eyes went wide when he saw the person. It was a man. Well, if you could call it that. It had at least 60 rows of arms. 3 legs. The thing was gigantic, with strange muscles upon muscles. Half of his face was burned off, looking like a strange goo. Ah, Naruto-sama. Have you brought me someone else to dissect? Do you seek information? No, Naruto. This one's for your pleasure as he threw Orochimaru. The man caught him with one of his arms and smacked him on the table. As strange wires seemed to be alive attached themselves to Orochimaru's body. Orochimaru screamed out in pain and agony. What is this? He screamed. Oh, this is gonna be your life for a very long time, Naruto. Have your fun, Lucifer, said Naruto, as he made his way off. Thank you again, Naruto-sama, the man said. As he turned back towards Orochimaru, you heard what he said. I should have my fun. And my sense of fun is experiment. As Orochimaru's eyes went wide, all of his life experiment is now turning back on him. Let's see how he likes it, Naruto thought. Naruto reappeared. As Sasuke was gone, but he was still here, as he was moving fast as possible to retreat. As Naruto disappeared once again, Sasuke was smacked across the face as he fell to the ground. What the hell? He was confused. Was that pure speed, he thought to himself. Why the hell are you running, said Naruto. Just be quiet. The reason I'm here is because I'm going to bring you back to the Elite Village. As Sasuke narrowed his eyes. Come on, don't look at me like that. The reason I'm doing this is because of Sakura. You know, when I think of it now, she was not all that bad, after all. In the forest of death, when I said that I was going to save you and her, I risked my life, we became good friends. We even went out on occasion to grab a drink and talk. But you were at the village in the hospital, and she seemed very depressed and sad. Thinking about it now, I should have at least helped her. Seeing that I'm leaving, I'm making some last minute cleanup. And yeah, you're one of those cleanup. You were not supposed to go down this path. It's just because you're stupid and rather idiotic that you did. In a few more minutes, Itachi's head will be brought to you. So then you will have nothing to, well, gain more power for because your brother would already be dead. You can just sit back and relax and enjoy building, repopulating your clan. That sounds like fun, doesn't it? What do you mean, Itachi's head? Sasuke said. Oh, I have a few accomplices with me, handling him and his group. Don't worry, they'll all be dead soon. No, Sasuke said. If anyone's gonna kill Itachi, it's gonna be me. I must say, I'm rather disappointed, said Naruto. After 3 years, you still seem rather weak. I wonder if you can even beat Itachi. Sasuke clenched his fist as he got to his feet. You wanna find out, he said as he pulled a kunai. He thrust it towards Naruto as Naruto slapped it away. Come on, Sasuke. Don't you think I'm above that now? Do you really think that you could bet? Sasuke vanished and appeared behind him as he pulled on his blade and swung it towards Naruto. Naruto stopped it with 2 fingers. Whoa, you've gotten faster. Just by a bit though. As he kicked Sasuke in the stomach, blood exploded from Sasuke's mouth. As he keeled over, it felt like he was hit by pure iron. What the hell? As he dropped to his knees, Naruto grabbed him by the hair and thrust him as he smashed, breaking through the wall behind him. In an instant, Naruto appeared beside him and kicked him across the face. Next time, don't act that rash among someone that is above you, okay? Sasuke got back to his feet as he ran through hand sign. As he took in a deep breath and blew out a massive fireball, the thing engulfed where Naruto was. When everything started to clear away, Sasuke's eyes went wide. How? You called it a fire, said Naruto. As Naruto took in a deep breath, the entire place around him seemed to be sucking in as he took in a deep breath. As he released it, Sasuke's eyes went wide beyond disbelief. As a fire that was at least 10 times larger than the Hokage's office emerged from Naruto's mouth. The thing had the head of a dragon. As it rushed towards him, Sasuke could not move, his legs were shaking in fear as he did not know what to do. But the thing then shot up in the sky and exploded, creating a fireworks show everywhere. "Now that's a fire," said Naruto. "And they expect me to act normal with the things I can do. You know that, Sasuke?" said Naruto. As he looked towards him, Sasuke was running. "Oh, come on," said Naruto. As he finger flicked once again, a massive bolt of wind came from his flick and smacked into Sasuke's back. Sasuke was sent crashing into a wall as Naruto appeared behind him and tapped him right in the neck. Sasuke's eyes rolled back as he collapsed unconscious. As Naruto looked down, jeez. He picked him up and threw him over his shoulder. As he started to walk away, he made his way outside as he saw an army of Sound ninjas already and geared up, and he saw the Sound 4 as well, and Kabuto there as well. "Where's Lord Orochimaru?" said Kidomaru. "Oh, the snake pedophile," said Naruto. "I kinda sent him away." "Send him away?" said Kabuto. "Yeah. To another world, you won't be seeing him again. But it doesn't matter, because all of you here are going to die. Well, not you, cutie," he said as he looked towards the aware. "Screw you, shitface," she said. Foul mouth. "You know, I like them rough," he said as he stepped forward. Meanwhile, "Now do you see?" the God of Death said. "This boy has become a threat that we can no longer postpone to stop. His goal is to break the fabric of this reality. Doing so would cause more problems than we can ever imagine. There's no other way. We have to go with scenario number 1. We have to get rid of him." As the three gods were there talking. "But do you really believe this would work?" "It is our only chance," God of Death said. "So, are we all in agreement?" "Yes," number 1 said. "Yes," number 2 said. "Well then, let us begin," said number 3. As the God of Death nodded, as he looked back toward the screen where Naruto was on, as he was slaughtering his own ninjas one by one. But guys, if you didn't subscribe right here, for the next part of this to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn the bell notifications to stay posted. But I'm off for now. See you guys soon. Peace.